you to see that goal scoring responsibility shared across the team?
Yeah, I think it's vital. I really do. I think, like I say, I talk about everyone believes scoring goals is this mystical, magical sort of ingredient, and but you have the technique to score goals in every other aspect of play. Passing, crossing, all those sort of things. So it's just understand or getting the players to understand that it is that it's everyone can do it, but you have to get into certain areas. You have to have certain deliveries. You have to have a certain intent in your mind about almost needing rather than hoping. And so that's what we've tried to do with players, and we constantly encourage players in training to have a go, to commit to goal scoring areas. But the set piece is really important for us. So centre halves have to come to the fray. Our wing backs, how advanced they are, how aggressive they are, they can, and Lewis has scored for us already. Midfielders with the midfield runs. I think Richie Smallwood had a couple of strikes on target last week, and one led to a goal with the rebound for Verdane. So there's so many different ways of scoring goals, and we need to try and tick as many boxes as possible, and not just rely on one particular player or one particular sort of aspect of scoring a goal. I think we just got to look at all the opportunities that we can create in a game and try and take as many as possible. So the players understand that. We instill it in our daily training. There's always goals involved in our training sessions. So we like I say, we train as we play, or we want to. So it's been really pleasing that players have stepped up, shown the quality. I knew the quality was there. I knew the ability was there. It's just directing that focus and that mind into not forgetting what football was about, and it's about scoring goals. And so we constant little reminders, loads of encouragement, and then let the players flourish.
Appreciate this will be a topic that will continue to be discussed right the way up until the January window. But when we talk about goals, one of your players who is scoring goals elsewhere in the form of Jake Young, specifically on him, is he someone that you're monitoring, and is it likely that he'll be recalled in January?
We monitor all our players. It's important that we do that. I'd be reluctant to talk particularly about Jake because of he's currently playing for another club and doing really well. So I don't want to disrupt anything that's going on there. I don't think it's right for me to do that. But we're well aware of all our players, not just Jake, on what they're doing for their clubs, and that's the young lads as well at non-league clubs, because we want to see if they have the potential to come and help us in January as well. So as I said, with all the players in our current squad, that they all have the opportunity. We know we have an opportunity in January to not shake up the squad, but just trim it a little bit, maybe improve it if we can. That's always the target when you go into a window, is can you come out of it in better shape than you went into it. So that'll be our target, and if we believe any one player can help us do that, or two players or three players, then we'll try to do that. But like I said before, the numbers are a little bit too big at the moment for it to be working as I would see a really healthy competitive squad to be working. So there's improvement to do on that side of it. But look, we know what all our players are doing. It's our responsibility to know what they're doing, and keep in contact with people, and then see what January brings.
On to Gillingham, just your thoughts on them as opponents, and is Stephen Clemens someone that you've come across previously in your career?
I think I'm sure I've coached against him, and I'm pretty sure I've played against him, but only a couple of times, but not so much as a head coach, obviously. I think he has tried to change their style a little bit. I think he's obviously trying to imprint his thoughts on in his squad in his new club. So, but listen, I've learned over the years, Gillinham's a really tough place to go. Whatever division you play at, whatever stage of the season, it's always a venue where their crowd get behind them and make it difficult for you. So. We're looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to it. We're probably itching a little bit with not having a game last Saturday and the Saturday before, to be honest. So it'll be good to get on a Saturday afternoon again and actually get a game. But it's I think all the teams in League Two are competitive, and anyone can beat anyone. So we have to make sure that we're as aggressive, as focused as we have been A, in training, and B, in all the other games that we've played so far.
Great.
Okay.
You're saying there, growing back Gillingham, I mean, it always seems it's one of them fixtures, I think, because it's always miles away. And I mean, you'll probably appreciate this, obviously, for the clubs you played for.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sort of one of those on the fixture list that you think if you can get a result there, you can get a result most places, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a common sort of thought about. It's like the old wet Tuesday in Stoke, isn't it? That everyone used, cold wet Tuesday on Stoke. I think each game is a challenge. I don't think any particular game allows you to go and win any other game. So I think that's a dangerous school of thought for any player or coach to be in, where whatever you've done previously helps you win the next one. I think you have to reset all your values, all your sort of expectations going into every game, and make sure that you understand what the challenge is ahead, but making sure that you fully commit to what you do as a player or as a team, as a manager. That's the most important thing for me, really, is before we concentrate on anyone else, can we get to the levels that we expect and go for? But I think you do have, I get the question where there's certain challenges through a season, you know what they're going to be. You look at a game, you know what that's going to be, you know what that's going to be, and
You're on the bus so long, and it's
and it can be it can be a challenge where you go, yeah, that's one that we've knocked off, but I think it's dangerous to think some are more dangerous than others. But I think just because of their every year you sort of go there, like I think you understand it's never an easy game. So it's maybe the travelling's got a part to do with it. I'm not sure, but maybe that's a little bit of weakness in people's minds, that they let it creep into them. That we've been on the bus for a few hours and this, that, the other. I think as a professional footballer, you've got to be stronger than that and understand that each preparation for every game is different. But come Saturday at 3:00, you've got to be ready, the same week in, week out.
And the fact that, as you say, other results, you look back
Key
on the results
in 2023 and how to add it to OBS. Firstly, on a PC or Mac, head to your TikTok profile and log in. On the left-hand side, click on Go Live, and it will redirect you to
the goal of the season that night. And
Yeah.
do you think those as a player? Do you think when you've got memories like that from your previous visit, that can sort of perhaps lift you a bit when you're going back there and sort of familiarising yourself with the surroundings?
Yeah, I think there's certain grounds maybe as a player, I think that you felt, I don't know, it worked for you or something. I mean, I know I had a couple of grounds that I felt like that I never played for those clubs, so I always seemed to play well there for some reason. I still can't put my finger on it, but I think positive memories and good memories are important. I think it's good to visualise positive thoughts and past victories and positive performances. Understand that you've got to go and do it again. I mean, you're not going to get a goal on your plate, but someone's
on a PC or Mac, head to your TikTok profile and log in. On the left-hand side, click on
the key to the rest of the season, but obviously that wasn't the case. So that's what we don't want to fall into, a trap of at any period thinking until it's the final game of the season you've completed that's where you are. There's no game before that defines where you end up. You still have to follow it up with performances, with wins, with results. So but we understand the challenge of going down Gillingham, but I want my players to feel confident going into any venue and being confident, looking around their own change room, looking at their teammates and thinking, we've got a good team here, we've got good guys here that are ready to be connected, to commit to each other, to support each other. That's where I would like our players to get their confidence from.
Go live, and it will redirect you to livecenter.tiktok.com/producer. Now you want to scroll down and click on Go Live at the bottom of the page. Next, pick a... Don't worry, to this box and paste the stream key into this box.
Them a bit of a lift to think, well, this is what our boss is saying, and he's saying it publicly. That's got to make them sort of feel a bit more belief in themselves.
I would hope so, but I'm not saying it for that reason. I think I think I try to be honest with everything, but I always look at my own team, whether I was a player or as a coach, that I think we can do good things. There's always ways of improving. I think there's always never going to a game down thinking, we've got no chance of winning. Never done that. I always think there's opportunities to win, but it's trying to work out how to win and then put that plan in place. But I think managers and players, and I think it's off actions. I think, if I was saying one thing to you, but I was saying a different thing in there, or on the chain.
Okay, guys, do you want to have your own gaming live stream on TikTok that features both your gameplay and the camera showing your face all at the same time? Let me show you how.
The very first step would be to go onto tiktok.com on your PC and click on the Go Live button. Simply enter in your live stream information. After entering all the information, you'll be greeted with the live stream page. After that,
that's what we want to be. So you have to think like that all the time, to make it be natural. And I wouldn't even say it's an act. I think it's just how I generally am. You know what I mean? I'm not going, right, I have to feel like this, or I better think like this. I think that's how the game has defined me or chiseled me down to, well, you have to win to stay in it. You know what I mean? That's the reality. So I think the players, as a player, I wanted my manager to think that I was a good player, that I think our team was a good team, and not be over fussed about what the opponent can do and worry too much. I didn't like that, So I tried to manage my team as I wanted to be managed. It might be the wrong way, right, but it feels right to me that I believe in these players, and I want them to believe in each other and believe in themselves first and foremost, that they can succeed.
I just think your options up front, where you can freshen it up and rotate, and that's at this time of year, when the games are starting to come, that's
rotate.
Touch wood,
yeah, rotate. There's that word.
Well,
rotate
change.
And recovery and all that. Yeah. No. Listen, as a player, I wanted to play every single minute of every single game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure these guys are no different. And I think I don't know if you talk a little bit that way, I think it weakens their mind, and I think if you got a weak mind, then you'll be physically weak. I think you have to go, no, I can play every minute. These are professional footballers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're professionals. This is their life. They should live like professionals and think like professionals. And every game is a challenge. Is a chance to do what you wanted to do. That's it. So. I hated that word rotation as a player. It got used against me a little bit in my late 30s, so I fought against it like hell. And so I think look, we have to assess players. You know what I mean? I've not got like a team for this game, a team for that game, and then I might have to rotate him. I've got a clean slate with these players, and it's up to them to show me and prove that they're fit enough to help us win every game. That's it. So I think it's good that we've got healthy competition, and without a shadow of a doubt, we won't just play 11 players for those games. Yeah. But I can tell you who might drop out and might come in and this, that, the other right now, because I'm a big believer in sort of rewarding performances and wins with there's the shirt again. That's what you have to fight for every time you go on that pitch. It's what kept me going as a player. I was fighting to have the shirt on again next week. You know what I mean? So I think you've got to reward that a little bit and put it in the hands of the players.
I mean, everyone, you need strong dressing rooms, but this time of year, I suppose it comes into focus more. There's distractions with Christmas, there's long away trips, there's pitches that aren't perfect, and this is when your dressing room polices each other. And
Oh, listen, without a shadow of a doubt, it's never just down to me as a head coach or a manager just to be that person. Like I said, I think we were talking about Richie and a captain. I think it's never down to one person to be able to do that. It's a group of people with the discipline. Like I just said there, we're professionals. So with professionalism comes discipline, comes focus. So and the discipline and focus when no one can see you. That's the most important time. When those mince pies are on the table and everyone's scoffing them, and you've got a game the next day. You have to be disciplined. You have to sleep at the right time. All that sort of stuff. And results and performances prove whether you're doing that or not. We don't have to micromanage players and text them at this time checking they're in bed or anything like that. Performances, and that's why we train as we want to play, because training will tell me if someone's ready to play a game on a Saturday. So we train in a way where it's a challenge for players, where they have to prepare for training, which is important. But I think it produces good habits, which will hold them in good stead for seasons to come.
When you've been sort of 3 times been out of management at this time of year, is this when you sort of miss it really? I mean, Christmas as a player, that's probably all you knew, and then when you're out of management, and
Yeah.
You probably missed it, didn't you, last Christmas?
Missing what? Football?
Missing management, you know, when you not been in management.
I try to get positive from whatever was happening in my life, you know. So like last year I was working, so my wife went on a holiday that we'd never had the opportunity to do at that time of year. So it was, that's how you sort of see it. You try and make every day work for you. You try and make every period where whatever you're doing, go right. What can I get from this day? What can I get from this week? So I had a really good Christmas last year, a different one from what I'm used to for the last 30 years. I know which one I prefer, and that's working, that's discipline, because it's good for my belly as well.
I was just going to ask you, finally, like some managers are big on blocks of games and points and all that. Are you sort of one of those?
Never.
No.
I couldn't get that. I don't get that. How you can try this amount of points, this amount. I mean, surely your target's got to be maximum. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't ever. I don't really. It's unless someone educates me in a better way of going. That's a better way of doing it. But I've experienced it once as a player. It didn't work for me or the team. I don't. I just bite-sized chunks. Next game, can we win it? Hopefully the answer is yes, and then crack on.
Gillingham haven't played for 2 weeks. Their last outing, an FA Cup win over League One side Charlton. Perhaps an equally tough challenge this afternoon against a Bradford side who've won 4 in a row in their competitions. One change for Stephen Clement's side from that which started against the Addicks. Connor Mahoney replaces Jaden Clark. For Stephen Clement's side, Johnny Williams line up against the side he almost joined in the summer. Bradford's last league outing was a 3-0 win at Forest Green Rovers. They too make one change, with Tompkinson coming in for suspended Ash Taylor for Graham Alexander's side. Gillingham coming into this one in 8th place. They're outside the playoff spots on goal difference only. A fortnight on the training ground ahead of this one, and they're looking to strike early. Inside the first 30 seconds, the first shot on goal. It was always rising. A bright start to proceedings for the home side. Connor Mahoney with the effort. Lewis strikes the goal kick long. Ball for Bradford. Coming to this one 5 points behind Gillingham. And Halliday finds some space. Halliday with the effort. Fizz just wide. It was a decent opportunity. Look how much time and space he had. Just trying to pick out the bottom corner. Ball kick long side of the upright. Won 4 of the last 6 since Alexander took over, have Bradford. Malone with the ball in, claims of handball, the whistle goes. That's going to be a free kick to Gillingham. Decent opportunity here with the set piece. Still up towards the far post. And deflected behind for a corner. Mahoney towards the near post, flick goalwards. They're claiming it across the line. Gillingham want the goal, the officials say no. It was a decent ball into the near post. Macaulay Bonne with the flick on. Somehow Harry Lewis kept that one out. Decent start to this contest by Stephen Clement's side. And it is the blue shirts of Gillingham coming forward. And Lapsley inside the area settles for another corner, piling on the pressure in the first 45. Mahoney takes again, stands it up towards the far post, headed back into the danger zone and flashed over the bar by Macaulay Bonne. That has to go down as a decent opportunity. It was Ethan Coleman who won the first header. Bonne on the volley, just getting underneath it. Bradford haven't really offered too much in terms of an attacking threat in this contest so far. They've gone route one again, a long ball over the top. They look to ask some questions of the Gillingham backline. They want it back with Halliday. It's a turn and the shot is comfortably held by Jake Turner. Nice real save he's had to make. It was Never likely to test him from that sort of distance. Smith with the effort in the end. Maxima goes to Mackenzie. Gillingham building from the back, but Bradford have put them under a bit of pressure here, and Malone gives possession away. Gilead into the box, he's got Halliday on the overlap, across the face of goal, into the path of Walker, and Bradford take the lead. 31 minutes on the clock, and Jamie Walker opens the scoring. His second goal in 3 matches. Gillingham played themselves into all sorts of trouble. Malone under pressure here, giving the ball away. And look at the lung-busting run from Halliday on the overlap. His ball in, found its way to Walker, and Walker found the bottom corner. What to do? Looking for the second goal here before half-time. They've been forced backwards. Tomkinson going back to base. And away to Lewis. You can see the travelling Bradford fans in that stand behind the goal. Exposed to the elements here at Priestfield. Cook tries his luck. He's only got 9 for the season. Just shy of double figures, but not on this occasion. His finest effort. Lining that one up from 25 yards. In 5 matches in all competitions for Gillingham coming into this one, but they trail at the start of the second half. They're attacking their fans though, and to our right hand side in this second half, and that's going to be a free kick, and they want a second yellow card for Platt. There will be a yellow card, but Platt is walking away. Bradford keep the full complement of 11 players on the pitch. Williams with the set piece. Into the danger zone, headed goalwards and headed just over. Has to go down as a decent opportunity for Maxima up from the back. The defender rising highest. Just unable to direct it goalwards. Not too far away though from an equaliser for the Gills. On with the long throw. They've gone short to Walker. Walker, the scorer of the only goal so far, looking to turn provider. His ball into the box, causing problems, asking some questions, and the visitors settle for a set piece. They've taken it short towards the far post. Gillingham should get this one clear, and if they play it right, there's a counter-attack opportunity here for the home side. Bradford backpedaling. He needs options, he needs some support. Have got back in numbers, decent defending by the visitors. Bodies flying in all over the place here, and the home fans want another yellow card. The referee with a decision to make. Bradley Halliday heavily involved, Williams going to ground. And it will be just a yellow for Bradley Halliday. The top by Lewis, flipped on by Cook, who can't get the second ball. It's all a bit scrappy at the moment, neither side getting their foot on the ball, able to have a spell of possession. Once again, the referee is going to reach for his yellow card. Hit long by Bradford. It's lined up on the edge of the area. Headed back into the danger zone. Gillingham unable to get it clear. It's head tennis. Walker with the ball back in. Ball looking for Cook. They just cannot clear their lines at the moment. Walker brings it under control. He wins the free kick. Gillingham want handball, but the referee's given the set piece opportunity to the visitors. And they just couldn't clear their lines, and when Walker brought it under control, I don't think they can have any complaints about that one. 15 minutes to play. Bradford with the free kick. Cook is over it. Halliday is there as well. Friday leaves it for Cook, who goes for goal and finds the bottom corner. His 10th goal of the season. Andy Cook on target once again. And Bradford have doubled their advantage with 15 minutes to go. Is that the goal that secures all 3 points for Graham Alexander's side? Cook knew exactly what he wanted to do. He made no mistake. Low underneath the wall. Jake Turner furious with his defence. But Bradford have a second. They're heading for their 5th win in a row, and they've only conceded 1 in that time. So it's a difficult task now in the remaining minutes for Gillingham to try and salvage something from this. In fact, Bradford coming forward again, looking for the 3rd goal that would surely put it beyond any doubt. Richards just getting underneath it. I think it took a bobble. Fashioned the opportunity himself. The Gillingham defence was stretched wide open. Richards just getting underneath it. Slightly awkward one. The final whistle goes. Bradford's fine form under new boss Graham Alexander continues. It is a 5th win in a row in all competitions, secured thanks to a goal in either half. Jamie Walker sent them on their way before Andy Cook sealed the deal with 15 minutes to play. He's reached double figures for the season. The Bantams looking up. It's finished Gillingham 0, Bradford 2.
Well, Bradford City are yet to find any sort of form since their change of manager earlier this month. Graham Alexander's appointment has so far yielded 2 league defeats from 2. An expectant Valley Parade is demanding upturning fortunes as nervous fans look to the wrong end of the League 2 table on what is a cold day in West Yorkshire. Accrington Stanley, the visitors, buoyed from their 2-0 win at home to Wrexham last weekend. John Collins' side sitting pretty in 7th and ambitions of an immediate return to League 1.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. You was probably wondering why we didn't have our podcast last Saturday. Just a little bit of a short story. I ended up A&E with blood clots on the lungs, and I've been diagnosed with diabetes. Do not know what type it is yet. So bear with me, still struggling to breathe, but I am joined by Miss Diane and Miss Callie to hopefully nurse me through this. I'm not 100%, but let's get this show on the road. So, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Gillingham vs Bradford City pre-match chat live. And now we have a bit more information on referees and stuff. So the referee for tomorrow's game is Scott Jackson. He has had 3 appearances in the EFL Trophy. He's given out 12 yellow cards. in League One is giving out in League One. He's had 3 appearances, giving out 12 yellow cards. League Two, he's had 7 appearances. He's giving out 31 yellow cards and 1 red card. FA Cup, 1 appearance, 7 yellow cards. EFL Cup, he's given 1 appearance and 2 yellow cards. Should be a good game tomorrow. Also, we are joined by Gills in the Blood. I were on his podcast the other day. So, Miss Callie, Miss Diane, welcome. How are you two?
Good, Johnny. Good to see you back.
Struggling, but I'm here.
Well, us women can talk for England, so crack on.
Yeah, we can, can't we? At least I'm better than I was last week as well.
I think we've all had some sort of illness, haven't we, last few weeks?
We have. I tell you what, our glass Salford were cancelled because I was feeling really crap that day.
Yeah, it's bonus, isn't it? A lot of people, I think, were ill when that was on, so that's a bit of a bonus.
But now they've decided to rearrange it, haven't they, to 23rd of Jan?
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Right, so before I'm just going to invite Gills in the Blood before he speaks. So we'll just look at a couple of past results. There's absolutely loads of them, so I'm just going to go from 2019. So in 2019, Bradford drew 1-1. Same again, 2019 in February, we won 2-0. 22nd of April, 2-2. And then we've got the game tomorrow. So I just want to head over to Gills in the Blood and just basically get his perspective from the Gillingham.
Good evening, everyone. You okay? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're coming in loud and clear.
Good. One correction, it's Gills in the Blood. Sorry, it's a soft G like the football club.
Sorry, I can't read all right.
That's all right. Yeah, it should be. I mean, like you say, you came onto our preview show on Wednesday, so if no one's checked that out yet from a Bradford point of view, please feel free to head over to my YouTube channel and have a look. And if you want to subscribe, thank you very much. It's a shameless plug, but yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I understand that Bradford have picked up in recent weeks. Ironically, it'll be the second time I think that Graham Alexander's been to Priestfield this season already. He's been beaten once. That was with MK Dons back at the start of October. That was ironically the first game after we'd sacked Neil Harris. I think Graham's probably more suited to Bradford than he was suited to the job at MK, based on sort of styles of play and that type of thing. But from our point of view, the home form's been good. I think we've won 3 on the bounce now, League and Cup. We've only conceded once in them trio of games. So I'm confident going into the game that if we play as we did certainly against Charlton, and definitely the second half against Salford City a few weeks ago, then I think we'll have enough to win the game. But we know that with a side that's got Andy Cook in it, you can't be thinking you're just going to turn up and roll over and win 3 points. So it's going to be a tough game. We know that. There's still plenty of time in the season for both sides to push into the top 7 and potentially higher. But we're playing well at home, and we're starting to see signs of what Stephen Clements wants us to do now. And I think it's a key period for a lot of teams, isn't it? I think we all sort of play 5 games in 20 days or something like that. So it's a key time for everyone. But yeah, looking forward to it. And would back us to win, definitely.
So currently looking at the league table, Gillingham are 8th. They're on a -7 goal difference. They're on 31 points. Bradford all the way down in 14th. Obviously, we've got a game in hand because of the Salford game. -3, 26 points. So who is your, who should Bradford City look out for tomorrow?
I can't see there being too many changes. Obviously, it's a bit awkward now because we've had the week off because of the postponement. So there was a couple, certainly, that missed the Charlton game or came off early in the Charlton game that you think would be to contenders to go back in. So for me, if he comes back in, Connor Mahoney from the side is a massive threat. He's good with both feet. He can beat a fullback. His delivery's good. He's a threat in terms of goal scoring as well, particularly from outside the box. I think he scored 4 this season. None of them have been inside the 18-yard box. So you don't want to be giving him chances. yeah, if we can get the ball to him, obviously the other name that's going to be mentioned is going to be Johnny Williams, because of the fact that he was very close to signing for Bradford in the summer before coming and joining us, which I think, we spoke about is, I don't think it was as big a shock as maybe Bradford fans realised at the time, because of the fact that he was born in Tunbridge Wells, which is literally just up the road from Gillingham. So it was a case of coming home for Johnny. If he plays well, we play well. Ethan Coleman's the other one. I think he had to come off early in that Charlton game, sits in front of the back four. If he's able to play, then he'll do that sort of dirty work in front and just protect us and keep us ticking over. So that would be the three that I'd pick out. But yeah, I think we've got basically a fully fit squad to choose from now, which is the first time we've had that in a good while. So that gives Stephen Clements good problems. So yeah, loads of options all of a sudden, and people potentially missing out just through choice rather than injury or suspension.
So looking at Simon Parker on the TNA, he's saying your leading top goal scorer is Connor Mahoney.
Connor Mahoney, yeah, he's got 4 in the league. Yeah, all of his have been in the league, I think. Yeah, Morecambe, Swindon, Salford, and Tranmere. Yeah.
And then also, I'm like the Paul Merson of the group here. Pronouncing names is not my forte.
Macaulay Bond's got 4 in all competitions as well. Yeah, he scored against Charlton a couple of weeks ago against his former club. I'm just trying to think who else we've got. 2 seconds. He's got 4. Mahoney's got 4, and then we've got a trio of players on 3. Robbie McKenzie, Ashley Naderzan, and Tom Nichols are all on 3. So, we don't score loads. Weirdly, I think we're the only team in the division that's not got to 20 league goals yet, which is staggering in itself, and it sort of understand why we've got a -7 goal difference despite being only outside the playoffs on goal difference. So, but at the same time, if you look at the positive, if that starts clicking more consistently, and there have been signs of that under Clements, like I say, 3 goals against Salford, 2 against Charlton, ground out a winner against Wimbledon, went to Hereford in the cup and scored twice. If we can get it right at that end of the pitch, then I think we'll be absolutely fine.
So looking at your past results, you beat Charlton 2-0 at home. Wimbledon, you won 1-0 at home. Tranmere, you lost 3-1. And Salford, you won 3-1. So you've got a bit of, after the Salford game, obviously you've got a bit of momentum, aren't you, going through now because you won that game?
Yeah, Tranmere was disappointing. We just didn't turn up. I mean, we had more of the ball and we got into good areas, but we were wasteful, and then we switched off 3 times. So you get punished if you give sides chances at this level. But yeah, aside from that, like I say, the other 3 performances, Salford, Charlton and Wimbledon, have all been at home. There's 2 clean sheets in there, which is why I'm quite confident going into tomorrow's game. Like I say, I don't expect us to just turn up and claim the points. We're going to have to work hard and win our battles and that type of thing, all the old cliches. But yeah, I'm fairly confident that if we play as well as we can do, then we should have enough to get over the line.
So looking at the match odds for the game, I'm not very good on betting and stuff. So Gillingham are 13-10, City 19-10, the draw 9-4. So who does that mean? Who's favourites for the winning
Gillingham
game?
Are favourites slightly. Then for £10 you'd get 13 back, whereas you'd get 19 back for your tenner for Bradford. So there's not a lot in it, and there's not a lot in it between the 2 wins or the draw as well. So I think the bookmakers are being fairly cautious because, like we said, Bradford have picked up in the last 2. You've kept clean sheets in back-to-back games, haven't you? I think against Forest Green and Accrington. Andy Cook starting to play well. So yeah, it'll be it won't be. We're not going to turn up and thrash you, and I don't think you'll turn up and thrash us. It'll be a proper League 2 game with 2 teams hopefully having a go at trying to win it, I think.
And also saying last time the sides met, Andy Cook scored City's goal of the season in a 2-0 win at Priestfield Stadium in February.
Yeah, that was the one where he nicked it on the halfway line, wasn't it? And then skipped round the other centre half and lofted it over our keeper. Yeah, I remember it well. Thanks for bringing it up.
Derek. A bit of City news as well. Ash Taylor's still suspended after he picked up his red card. Right, Mr. Owen, I see you've been waiting for a while. Are you still there, Owen?
Hi, Johnny, you all right?
Getting there, bud. Struggling, but I'm fighting it. I'm battling it. I'm not at the game tomorrow, but I'll be watching it on iFollow.
Fucking hell. It'd be weird about you being at game. Well, you haven't missed one of the season, I don't think.
I know. I've been trying to go, but Mum and Dad are just saying, nope, stay at home. Don't risk it.
I'm risking it. I'm driving down tomorrow.
Are you going down with? Are you driving down? You going coach?
Yeah, I'm driving down. Just me and my pal are going. Just two. We tried to get more people, but people got a lot on. It's nearly Christmas, isn't it? So people are working, etc.
Yeah.
Johnny, I'll FaceTime you, Johnny, when I get there. Don't worry. I'll give you your fix.
I need my fix. You need to get. I need a Bovril as well, Cal. I need a Bovril.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of a Bovril for you. Don't worry.
Sally, can you get you my fix of Harry Lewis, please?
Yes, that's noted. It's on the list.
It's like all we say. That feels really weird for me. Like Callie and Diane know I rarely miss games. I'm not going to lie, but I was actually doing cartwheels in Airedale Hospital on Saturday when I found out the game actually did get postponed because I'm not missing it. Yeah, I know it's been rearranged. Here we go. So, Mr. Tony, how are you today? Are you there, Tone? Are you there, Tony?
Good evening.
Here he is. Here he is.
There he is.
Are you looking forward to the game tomorrow, Tone?
Yes, I am.
Are you going, Tony? Are you on coach?
No. I've just come back from Lanzarote, haven't I? And I'm going to Egypt in January.
Who am I supposed to wind up on the way down? I've got 3 hours of people winding up to do.
Ah, well.
Typical.
I'm sorry I can't grace you with my presence. But Lanzarote were a bit... I spent more than what I thought I was going to do.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Was you remortgaging house, Tone?
No. No, I didn't go overboard, but it was a toss-up between spending a bit of money or going to Gillingham, and Lanzarote was a no-brainer, really. Lanzarote won all day long. So, no, I mean, I have been. I went, when was it? Gary Jones scored 2000 and... I think Gary Jones scored direct from a corner, actually.
Do you reckon we've got a chance of beating Gillingham tomorrow?
Yes.
Or do you think it's to be a really tough game?
No, I think it will be tough because they're not a bad home side of Gillingham, but I'm hoping Patterson starts tomorrow because against Liverpool, when he come on, he looked pretty good. And I would go with the same side that started against Liverpool in the Bristol Street Motors Cup. Because I think...
Do we think Patterson will be on bench tomorrow then? Do you think he'll put him on bench?
Possibly. I would start him personally.
Yeah, I would. Especially if Cook is getting back to form as well. That'd be a mean between the two of them.
Because Smith and Cookie looked really good against Liverpool. I mean, I know we're only playing kids, and you can only beat what's put in front of you. That'd be different than being playing.
And cup games are what happens on the day, aren't they?
Well, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
But that would be my team to start, and maybe put Doyle instead of Lewis because I thought Lewis were a crap.
Not saying a word.
Oh, Diane's rattling now. You've got Diane rattling.
He always rattles me.
Diane, he's got a thing about goalies. He just doesn't like any of them.
I know.
I used to be with myself, and that's why.
Oh, is that why? Because you used to let goals in?
Oh, let me fair share in there.
Yeah. Harry not letting you in for a bit.
You what?
Harry's not letting you in for a bit.
No, I love Harry, to be fair.
So do I.
It was just that other clown that we used to have.
Shut up.
It's Donald.
Tony, you like rattling Diane and Callie, don't you? You're mentioning Harry Lewis, you're mentioning other Rod. You make you on that coach at this rate.
Let's be honest, Johnny. Richard O'Donnell couldn't catch a cold, never mind how else.
That's fair.
We've had quite a few conversations, me and Tony, on that coach, haven't we, Tony?
Yes, we have. Anyway, no, I do fancy his chances tomorrow because I thought we did. I mean, like I said, I know we only played kids, but we did play well. We knocked it about well.
Do we think the rest has done them good? You know, we're not playing on Saturday. Do we think
it will have done?
Help?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think it will have done because, to be fair, I mean, them kids from Liverpool, they were like whippets. You know, they weren't sluggish. They did cause City some problems at times, but
definitely did.
But when kids, like say, they're only kids and 4-0, fair enough, yeah. But they were there to be beaten, and you can only beat what's put in front of you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it'd be tough. I think it'd be 2-1 either way, but I just think City might just nick it.
So according to Simon Parker, he thinks the team will be Harry Lewis, Halliday, Matty Platt, Sam Stubbs, Kelly, Richardson, Smallwood, Gilliard, Walker, Smith, Cook, with Chapman, Poyton, Odor, Patterson, Oliver, Tomkinson, and Doyle on the bench. So would you be happy if the same team with that like that?
Yeah.
I'd like Tomkinson to start.
He was class against Liverpool.
Yeah, he was quite good. I like the look of him every time I see him. He just seems like he could be someone who could replace Critchlow, which for me, we haven't found yet. He was phenomenal last season.
Exactly.
Can I just ask, is he the one that's been playing the international games for America?
Yeah.
I'm just checking I've got right.
He is in the Critchlow mould, to be fair.
Yeah, just a quick defender who's just confident in his own ability. That's just what it is, really.
And he's got pace.
Yeah, I think that's what we lack in the back three. I think, especially, as much as I love Stubbs, this season I think he's just been caught out quite a lot with pace.
So do you think he'll stick with the same formation, because now they've not played ever in a week, so they should be raring to go, and they should have done well in training?
I'd definitely go for the same system. Yeah, I think Alexander's kind of got it spot on. He had a bit of a blip first 2 games, but we played two fairly decent sides. To be fair, whereas Barrow, I think Barrow were third and not Scoutney a fourth now, and they were his first 2 games, so he did get pretty unlucky in that aspect. And we played Accrington since and Forest Green, and that system of 5 or 3 back, whatever you call it, just seemed to work for us.
Yeah, so looking at the table currently then, so we're 14th on 26 points, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So if we win, we could probably nip up to, goal difference-wise, 11th, 10th or 9th goal difference-wise if we win. Also, I'd like to get people's thoughts on Swindon as well. I know we're going a little bit off topic, but Swindon have been, I think, told off, or they're in trouble due to spending and stuff. So what's people's thoughts on them? Might get a points deduction or a fine?
I hope we get a points deduction because it just might help us out. But I think once we plug on Jake Young and MK plug on Dan Kemp, I think their season's done for me anyway. So
that's
definitely,
fair point. Oh, forgot about that, Dan Kemp.
Yeah, if we could maybe, I think midfield's actually our strong point. To be fair, we've got a lot of good players, but if we could maybe nick that Kemp, I'd absolutely love him. I think every time he's played City, he's been a good player. Him.
Do you think there'll be a lot of movement then in January, Owen? Do you think quite a lot of players will be going and coming out of City, or do you think he'll just get rid of a few players?
Well, he's kind of said, I think he came out and said we won't be adding many players, but that could be pure mind games. You don't know sometimes. I wouldn't trust everything gaffers say in press sometimes. If I'm honest, I think looking at it, I'd like maybe, if he's not going to start Tomkinson and maybe another centre back, I'd say get another striker in, but I'd say it's more important that we recall Young. and he'd be the striker to help have competition, because with Oliver coming back, we've only just got a bit of competition for them two up top.
Yeah, because I hope Oliver does get on the bench tomorrow, obviously, to play Gillingham tomorrow. Because having been on the Gills in the Blood podcast, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I had a bet with him, I think, Panda Pop and 25p, I think it was, a big bet that Oliver will probably score tomorrow.
He used to play for, didn't we get him?
Yeah,
he used to play for Gillingham.
Yeah. So hopefully, I think he's well thought of there, but I might be completely wrong. I think we best ask Gills in the Blood if he's well thought of or not.
Yeah. Well, what was Oliver like at? Oh, I've sent him a speaker thing. Hopefully he's still listening. Hopefully he's not nodded off. Here he is. So what was Oliver like at Gillingham?
Yeah, he was superb for us. Absolutely brilliant. He's a top player and he's a top bloke as well. I think that's one of the best things about sort of doing these spaces or YouTube channels or podcasts at this type of level, is that you get access to players and you get to find out about the person rather than just the player. And I had him on my channel just after he left, I think, when his contract is expired, and he's a really nice fella, proper down to earth. But yeah, he was, in terms of the football stuff, he was brilliant for us. I think that first season he got 22 goals. So for me, it's been a surprise that he's struggled so much at Valley Parade. I know he's had injuries, and obviously the form of Andy Cook played a big part last season. But yeah, it's been disappointing to see that he's not been good. Obviously, I hope if he does get on the pitch tomorrow that he's absolutely horrendous, and I'd tell him that to his face as well. But yeah, if you play the right way and you get service into the 6-yard box, Dane Oliver comes alive. I mean, I don't know how many headers he scored for us. I say he got 21 or 22, I think it was, in all competitions. That was the COVID season, so we never actually got to see him live that season, when we finished, I think, 9th or 10th in League One. And then even the season when we got relegated, I know he missed probably about 4 months of that. I think he was still our top scorer of about 11 in all competitions. So yeah, I mean, you can't. I think I'm sure he was going along exactly 1 in 3 in 2 seasons with us, and the first season obviously he was going along at a better ratio of that. But yeah, he's probably a sort of player that's almost going out of the game, that sort of old-fashioned number 9 that plays with his back to goal. And you don't see a lot of teams play 2 up top now, which probably means that he's obviously having to be behind Andy Cook at the moment. And I certainly don't think you could play the 2 of them together, but he's one hell of an understudy. If Cook does get injured or suspended or his form drops off, then for me, Dane Oliver's a more than able deputy, and he should be playing every week because he's good enough to play at the level. He was good enough to play at a higher level in League One with us, so it must be frustrating for him. But yeah, top player, top bloke. If you get him fit and get him on the pitch, he'll score your goals.
I don't know how accurate Wikipedia is. He's in 82 appearances, he scored 27 goals for you. In 30 appearances for Bradford City, he scored 3 goals.
Yeah, I don't think Wikipedia's entirely up to date. I can tell you how many because I keep a log on my phone.
I think he scored 4 for just off the top of my head, to be honest.
Right, the 2021, he scored 20 goals for us and contributed 8 assists. And then the season we got relegated, he scored 11 and contributed, I don't think there was any, 5 assists as well. So that's what, by my reckoning, I keep a log on my phone from each week. So yeah, so 31 goals in about 90 games in all competitions. So 1 in 3. Obviously, it's a lot lower now at Bradford, unfortunately for him. But if you've got Andy Cook in 30 in a season, then as a fan, you're happy.
To be fair, a lot of them have been probably coming off the bench.
That's it, yeah. If you don't start games and you don't play regularly, you struggle to get rhythm, and then it becomes harder, doesn't it? Try to influence games in short periods. It was good to see him come off the bench in the EFL Trophy a couple of weeks ago and score. It was made up for him. So, but yeah, I hope he's absolutely shit tomorrow if he plays.
He's a good honest player.
He is, yeah. He'll run through brick walls for you. Even if he's not fit, he will play. He played for us probably at 80% fit, trying to keep us up the back end of that relegation season. He will do everything he can to be a success at Bradford. And apart from twice this season, I hope he still can be. Or you could.
What was his injury record like at Gillingham?
Fine for us. I think he had one problem where he'd done something to his ankle and he missed about 3 months of the relegation season from like November till the end of January. And I think the only other time he missed a couple of games was because he had paternity leave because he was just I think he had, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure there was complications after his partner had given birth to one of their children. So he was obviously off doing what any father would do, and that was look after his family. But no, in terms, apart from the one that he had where he missed 3 or 4 months, which in a way probably ultimately cost us our place in League One, because we only needed to score one more goal and earn another point and we'd have stayed up. I think that if he'd been fit for the whole of them 4 months, we'd have found that other point. But no, that's what I mean. It's surprising because he's had, it seems to be injury after injury since he's gone to Bradford, but he was never injured with us really, apart from that one period.
Oh, Bradford City like signing injured players.
Oh no, this is on Bradford. This ain't on Gills. I'm not taking that. He was absolutely fine with us. You've beaten him up.
So, like, while I've been in bed watching, I've been watching that Class of '92, and they had Tom Elliott. He just watching it, and he was crocked all the time, Tom Elliott, and then Bradford City in the wisdom decided to bring him on loan. I think he got crocked. He just always used to be crocked for us as well. But with Oliver, it's like when I went to the Liverpool game under 21s, he came on, I think, for about 20 minutes or 15 minutes. First 2 minutes, he bulldozed one of their players over. It made me chuckle. It was nice to see him back. And I'm saying that I hope tomorrow he gets a goal, boost his confidence. Right, is anyone got anything else to want to say?
Could I ask maybe one more question to Gills?
Go for it, bud. Floor's yours.
I'll just call you Gills, but just for a nickname.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who do you actually... Obviously, we've spoken about Oliver and you've mentioned Cook a fair few times, but do you look at actually anyone in our team and think, fucking hell, I don't want to play him tomorrow?
I had this chat with Johnny on our match preview, and I said that I think the problem for me with Bradford last season, which was why I could see a drop-off this season, was because, number one, I didn't think Mark Hughes was as good as everybody made out when he took the job. And number two, I thought certainly towards the back end of last season, you was relying on a handful of players to keep you in the playoffs. I thought, obviously, Harry Lewis, I thought, was exceptional last season. Obviously, Andy Cook had the season of a lifetime. The lad who you had on loan from Huddersfield, who's now gone to Peterborough, Romani Critchlow, was outstanding, I thought. Yeah. And I thought Jamie Walker was absolutely brilliant second half of the season after he got over his injury problems. But I thought after that, if them four didn't perform, you was then sort of looking around and thinking everyone else is a bit inconsistent. I know you had injuries like Ossa Davey broke his leg shortly after joining and took ages to come back. Obviously, Verdane didn't really take off as well as you'd have hoped.
Yeah.
Walker, I think Walker's key because obviously if Walker's in the game and he's having an influence, he's probably going to create chances for someone like Andy Cook. So yeah, again, you can't get away from Andy Cook. His goal record's phenomenal over the last 2 years. It's probably taken him a little longer than you'd hoped to get going in terms of the volume of goals this season, but I think he's got 7 in 17 or 18. So he's going along at just over 1/2 every 2, which is by no means a disgrace at all. It's just when he's had such a good season previously, it looks like he's dropped off. But I think Walker's probably the key player. If you can get him on the ball, then you'll cause us problems.
I think last season we had a lad on loan from Crystal Palace called Scott Banks.
Yep.
And he were a bit of a...
That played off the right and but was left-footed, used to play as an inverted winger, yeah.
For me, he were a bit of a threat. Yeah. And we have another lad called Harry Chapman, you might not have heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been injured quite a lot, and he got injured with about 5 games left last season. He stretched too far for a ball, and I think he just did his hammy for about 4 months and just come back like now. I'm pretty sure if he didn't get injured, would have probably gone up. I think he's someone who can... I don't think he's the most active player in the world, but on the ball and his pure abilities, absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
So I think he could be a threat if we can get him back fit this season. But it's just
that's it, yeah, it's the trouble with too many, isn't it?
I think at the end of the day, it's why they're at this level.
Of course.
They'd be playing League One Championship, wouldn't they, if they were...
This is it. This is the chat I have even with Gills fans. They go, oh, he was crap. And you think, well, yeah, they're League Two. That's why they throw in a 4 or a 5 out of 10 every so often. If they was 7, 8s and 9s every week, they wouldn't be playing for Gills or Bradford in League Two. Like you say, they'd be Championship or Premier League if they were that consistent.
Yeah, like we just signed... Alex Patterson this summer from Harrogate. He did pretty well there.
Yep.
But since he's been with us, every time he's played, he's looked great. But I think he's just been injured quite a few times. It might just be unlucky, but the reason we might have signed him is because of his injuries. That's probably why we've got him books at the minute.
Yeah, potentially. Like you say, the price drops if they've been injured, don't they? It's...
Definitely. And the same for, I know we were going to sign him with that Williams for you boys, isn't he injured quite a bit? Or am I thinking of something else?
This is the thing, I don't know where this has come from. I think he had problems earlier in his career, but this was what got... I think a lot of Bradford fans said that to us when we'd signed him. It was probably a bit of banter or a bit of, bitterness because they'd missed out or whatever, but it's... He averaged like 41 games a season in 2 years at Swindon, so I'm not sure where it's come from in latter life, and I think he's played in most games this season for us. Like, I think if this game had been played last week, he might have struggled because he got a whack in the mouth against Charlton and had to come off. But it was purely because of the fact that the physios literally couldn't stem the bleeding from this wound in his mouth. It was just like pissing blood everywhere. And apparently he's had to eat with a straw for like the last 10 days. It's only in the last few days that he's able to eat again. So they've been protecting him in training. But no, he's not missed a lot of football for us. Like, I just think we didn't find the best position for him. I think it was a great signing on paper, but the way Neil Harris set us up, I don't think we was getting the best out of Johnny Williams. Under Neil Harris, we was a functional team that didn't concede loads, didn't score loads. And I think if Johnny Williams to thrive, you have to be a little bit more expansive in possession. And we're starting to see that now. So, But no, I don't think, I wouldn't say he's been injury prone in the last few seasons. I've certainly not seen anything to indicate. He'll probably tear hamstring now you watch tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it could just be a myth with sometimes the players.
I think it is, sometimes. And you get a fan base that says something against him because he's left their club and tried to create a story, and people end up running with it. And then, like you say, it almost becomes gospel and Chinese whisper type thing.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't really look into it, but to my knowledge, I thought it was just a crock, and that's maybe because he was in Premiership, wasn't he? Not that long
he was
ago,
at Palace. So we've got our head of academy is Keith Millen, who was caretaker manager at Palace and a coach there for years. So since he sort of took over the interim thing before Clements was appointed, we started to see the best of Johnny Williams because he knows how to play him and he knows how to coach him. We want more sort of numbers with goals and direct assists, but I think the good thing with Williams is he's one of those players that he's involved in goals, but earlier in the phase of play. So we might not get the credit in terms of, that's a direct assist. But like the first goal against Charlton was his ball over the top for Jayden Clark, who then squared it for Bond. So he's involved in the goal.
Yeah, but
so it's like a pre-assist, which is what you want. But I still think there's gears for Johnny to go through, and fingers crossed we start seeing it on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, that happens a lot with our boys. We've got a midfielder called Gilead, and he gets turned into a bit, not this season as much because I think fans are starting to realise how good he is, but last season especially because he barely got any goals or assists. You get a lot of criticism with Gilly, but if you look at most goals, three or four moves before, he but one breaking up play and laying it off to...
That's it, and people don't see that in the highlights because they just show the final pass and then the fella finishing it off, and it's...
Yeah. So
sometimes you have to just go it back a bit, Of course, and rightly so. He's scored you 30 goals last season. He's right. Loads of credit,
I'm not taking it away from Cook, you know what I mean?
But sometimes you just have to go back a sort of phase in the highlights and you can see, look how important that was. Like the holding midfielder pinched it and set you off and stuff like that,
Yeah. How were you feeling over Neil Harris getting sacked? Because to me, it came as a massive shock.
I couldn't believe it. Like I was sat working that morning, and I think we'd lost at Crewe on the Tuesday night, and then a couple of people sent me a WhatsApp on the Thursday and were like, "Have you heard Harris has been sacked?" And I was like, "Piss off! Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't be daft. We're 8th in the league."
Yeah.
And then literally an hour later, the statement come out. I still don't get how it was made when we were 8th because it put a lot of pressure on the new manager. Because you're basically saying to Stephen Clements now, to be successful, you've got to be in the top 7 this season. If promotion was the aim to start with. I could understand the concerns from the fan base in terms of we weren't scoring enough. I get that. Everyone wants to be entertained. People spend their hard-earned money to go and watch football at the weekend as a release from the stresses of life and all that sort of stuff. And you don't want to watch 0-0 and 1-0 all the time. I get that. But I think if Gilles had kept Neil Harris and won 20 games 1-0 and we get in the playoffs or get promoted, no one would have batted an eyelid.
No.
So, because what is the right way to play, in inverted commas? Winning football's the right way for me, isn't it? Like,
I totally agree,
League won the first division as it was then, winning 1-0 every week and no one give the shit. So it's So no, it was a surprise for me, but it's done now. The owners made it was the first decision where the owners made such a call, and we were like, oh. And we all, don't get me wrong, we was all like, that's ballsy. Like, it's a big decision because they've only been in charge 11 months or 10 months at the time to sack a manager when we was 4 points off top or whatever it was. And we're further away from that now, but obviously there's an interim period, so you can't really put that on Stephen Clements. But yeah, I was at the time, and I still didn't understand the sacking and the timing of it after only 4 defeats. But obviously, if Stephen Clements comes in and gets us into the playoffs, then it's the right call ultimately. So
I was more surprised at how poor you probably did last season. The second half of the season were pretty strong, but especially at first half of the season, it seemed like
we would have been, without the investment and the takeover, we had literally no money. We would have been a National League club. We wouldn't be talking to you tonight. We'd have been a National League club without investment in December last year. We'd have got relegated woefully. We'd have gone by probably February, March.
And you backed him then, so I'm surprised, how little time they gave him this season. But
yeah, this is it. It's a strange one because if you break his reign into like 3 sections, we were 10 points adrift in League Two when he came in, and he took it to the last day and we lost to the champions. So if we'd got something there, we'd have stayed up. First half of last season was horrific. Like, no team should go 23 games and score 6 or 7 league goals. That's inexcusable, and Neil Harris is culpable for that as well as the players. But there were circumstances surrounding it. But then I think if you looked at his record from January till the day he was sacked, I think there was probably only Stockport had got more points in the division over 10 months. So,
yeah, because I put Jules to win league this season on my predictions. I thought this will be it now. This is Harris's turning point. He's got players that he wants, etc. And at the start of the season, I looked to be extremely right. Did you win your first few games?
We won our first 4 games 1-0.
Yeah,
all 4 of them, and we beat Southampton in the League Cup. Obviously, that's not sustainable. We knew that. You're not going to go through a whole season winning 1-0. But yeah, if we, like I said earlier in the show, if we sort the scoring out and we consistently score on a more regular basis, then I still see no reason why we can't be in the top 7 at worst. That we've got a good squad for the level.
Yeah,
so So with your owners, do you reckon they're doing a good job, bad job? Or they're just trying to get the money out, do you reckon?
No, doing a brilliant job, and they get it, and they researched it, and that type of thing. And we've fallen on our feet in terms of them coming in and becoming majority shareholders. They started off start of the year with the January transfer window, and they delivered on that. They said it was going to be aggressive and lucrative, and we signed really good players for the level, considering we were sort of 6 points adrift at the bottom at the time. The ground's a lot better now. You'll notice now you can't miss it when it gets dark tomorrow at the ground. The electronic hoardings all the way round. It looks incredible for a League Two ground. Just bits behind the scenes. Everyone seems happier. The staff seem happier. Fans want to come to we know you want to watch your football team and you want them to win, but there's also a thing that the social aspect of football. So if you come and your team's not winning, you want to still be able to get a pie, or you want to be able to get a pint and watch the football and have a good time. You couldn't do that before. I mean, start of last season, we got laughed at all over social media because our ex-chairman was selling off out-of-date beer at £2 a pint, which is funny if it's someone else's club, but when it's yours, it's just embarrassing. So, no, they've been absolutely brilliant. They're doing a phenomenal job. Like I say, the first big call that caused sort of ripples amongst the fan base and the sort of everyone going, is this right? Some were agreeing, some weren't, was the Neil Harris sacking. But ultimately, we don't know how successful the Stephen Clements appointment is until 46 league games have been played.
And have they said anything about your scaffolding stand?
Yeah, they're going to keep it forever because we know how much of visiting fans absolutely love it because it's the best stand in the world, I think was the exact words.
How did you end up getting that stand?
That came from Sandwich Golf Club, I think it was, after the 2003 Open. And it was only meant to be a temporary thing, and here we are 20 years later. We won't change it now until we move ground because it's just not feasible to buy. It's not worth spending millions on building a new stand when we don't fill the stadium up. So I think the top tier's been condemned, and then everything that they could use off the top tier they've put down into the bottom tier to make sure that that's usable. So I think you lot have got the bottom tier or one of the blocks in the Gordon Road stand tomorrow as well. So.
How much does it roughly cost for a season ticket at Gillingham?
Mine was $350 this season, I think it was.
And is your seat good? Is it bad? Is it?
Yeah, I like my seat. I picked where I sat. I moved from one side of the stadium to the other, like the same stand, but the other side of the goal this season because my little 9-year-old girl, she wanted to start coming as well. So we couldn't get three together because there's me, her, and one of my mates that we sit together. But no, seat's decent. The views are good. Like I get why people like moan or sort of tongue-in-cheek laugh about the away stand, but Christ, there's plenty of grounds that are a lot worse than ours in the Football League, certainly in League Two. You know, I don't want to dig teams out, but like I'm going to Forest Green next Friday, and we've got to stand. We haven't got a roof either. We can't even sit down.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, you go to. There's others, isn't there? There's like Sutton's very non-league, but I like that. I embrace it because that's what football grounds were like when I was growing up. They're all very nice now, the Emirates and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but they're all just generic bowls, aren't they? They all look the same.
It's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm praying it don't rain next Friday because me and my living are going to get absolutely drowned if it's all for a 7 o'clock kickoff on a Friday night, 2 days before Christmas. But we do it because we love it, and I guess we're all a little bit loopy, aren't we? In that, I mean, I am because it's clinically diagnosed. I have to take tablets for it, but we do it because we love it, and if we didn't love it, we wouldn't choose to do it. So.
Yeah, because me and Callie, we've been to some absolutely dire grounds, haven't we?
Oh, I've got absolutely wet through to the skin, and I still stood and cheered for the team, even though we lost. Do you all remember, Diane, you're not going to like me here, but do you remember the Harry Lewis, where he thought the rugby line was the...
Newport County.
Newport.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Absolutely drenched at Newport. Even with my big coat on and my hood on, I was sodden.
Oh, God.
But I still stood there and cheered. You do it, don't you? It's part. That's all part of the...
I'll tell you what, Barrow's ground hasn't changed since I used to go watch Geisel play there.
Yeah.
It's still the same. Shithole. Yeah. So's Accrington.
And Aldershot.
There's hundreds
absolutely.
There's loads.
Me and my dad were just talking about it at Accrington and going, oh, is it still in that housing estate? Yeah.
The Luton one makes me laugh. How you walk through somebody's house to get to inside.
Yeah. I love Luton. It's mad, yeah. You can literally see in their back gardens.
Team now. They're Premier. That's madness.
Well, their League Cup game against us this season was the first game played at Kenilworth Road after the promotion because they had to move 2 of their first games, didn't they? Or postpone them because they had to put their main stand. So we was the first game. We were the first side to play at Kenilworth Road against Luton as them being a Premier League team. But yeah, it's I love grounds like that. Like you literally can see what people have got hanging on their washing line when you walk in. It's brilliant.
I don't know if you have any big knickers.
Not our Gills fans probably nicked them to be fair.
Somebody in the comments has asked how many fans we're taking down tomorrow. Last I saw it were about 350. I don't know whether anybody else has any more details.
See what it says on the Bradford City website.
Because you can still get tickets on Gillingham website till tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I am not drunk. I've had my coffee.
Because you're having a stroke there, Diane, love.
No, I just couldn't speak properly.
It's not, yeah.
He's getting ready for Christmas do tomorrow night, you know.
Oh, no. I'm taking Bailey's on coach tomorrow with some ice in a Tupperware thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I've got work Christmas do. Tomorrow night, I have to go get a new outfit.
That's a middle-class drink, isn't it, for an away day? Bailey's.
Christmas.
That's the most middle-class away day drink I've ever heard.
I might even put my Santa hat on.
Last time Callie had a few beers, it was doggy daycare, wasn't it, Callie?
Oh, don't.
Callie was absolutely rat-assed, and it was Burton, and sponsor were doggy daycare. And after game,
that was so funny.
She just shouted out, "Doggy daycare!"
You've got to be, you've all got to be polite now and talk about our owners and how good they are, because one of them's listening. Evening, Shannon.
Oh, have we got VIP in here?
Oh, she's just. Oh, I just mentioned her and she disappeared.
Oh, she's gone. Come on, go.
Scared her off.
Oh, I wanted to get a bit of insight. Right, I'm going to start winding down, guys and girls. So, starting from Diane, and obviously we'll go along with Q. Score predictions, and also who do you think is going to score tomorrow?
Andy Cook and Tyler Smith, and Harry's not going to let a goal in, so 2-0.
Callie?
I'm going 2-1 tomorrow. I'm the same as Diane. I think Cookie and Smith are going to score, and I think it's going to be like a 1-1 game for quite a bit, and then I think we're going to pinch it at the end.
Gills?
I said 3-1, I think, to you, didn't I, on the match preview show?
Yep.
So we'll stick with that.
3-1 to who? 3-1 to Girls?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Dave
Ah.
Oliver can get the consolation.
I mean, Harry's going to let 3 goals in.
Yep.
Oh, God, you're rounding her up again. She'll be rattling. Tony?
Well, I'll go 2-1 City. Andy Cook with them both.
And I'm going to say 2-0, and I think I did say Andy Cook and Verdane Oliver scored just to keep our friends Gills happy over there.
Yeah, because the ex-player always manages to upset the opposition, don't they, usually?
Well, you've got 2 ex-players of ours, I think, off the top of my head as well.
Who's the second?
Oscar Davey.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we signed him as a kid when he was a teenager, just in Edinburgh, the late
podcast. Just like to wish Tom Lockley, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a very speedy recovery. He had collapsed on the pitch.
City 0 after half an hour here at Priestfield. Oh, that's poor from Malone. He's made a real mess of it. And Gilead now into the box. Halliday on the overlapping run. Comes back.
Yes.
There's Shortcut. There's the goal. There's the lead for Bradford City. Halliday on the right. Cross came in. Andy Cook will hit it. Fires it. Goal! Bradford City! Andy Cook goes under the wall. It's a fizzing strike to double Bradford City's lead at Gillingham. He scores again at that end here at Priestfield. It's a brilliant effort. And Bradford City now in the 74th minute have a 2-goal.
Right. Before we get the show on the road, obviously this is a live space/podcast. Just like to wish Tom Lockley, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a very speedy recovery. He had collapsed on the pitch at Luton. So, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Gillingham vs Bradford City post-match chat, where Bradford City won Gillingham 2-0. So, I am joined today, and we are back to full fitness, Stan, Callie and Diane. So I'll go straight to Callie for live reaction on the fun bus.
Well, bear with me, guys, because I'm on the supporters coach driving back, so it might be a bit loud.
Come on!
Yes, the fucking!
So what did you make at game, Cal?
Quite a good game.
Amazing game by the Bradford today.
I've got Lenny sat next to me, City gent, so he's with me.
We were a bit under pressure, but we took it all in, and probably 3 or 4 chances on goal, and we scored 2 of them. That's all it needs. 3 points. Come on, you chickens!
I've never heard Lenny Sub speaking politely in my life. Has he been on to you?
What's he say?
He's never heard you speak so politely. We've had a bit of, just before you get onto the game, we've had a bit of argy-bargy walking back from the game. Not with supporters. We had 2 police officers that were walking back, both from Bradford, starting on each other.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Proper. Lenny had to get in between them at one point.
So, in the game, the referee was a little bit card happy. He gave a yellow card to Matty Platt, Gilead, Kelly, Bonnet, Elmer, Mattison, Halliday, and Richardson. So he's dished out quite a few yellow cards there. So, Stan, what's your thoughts been on the game, lad?
Good evening to everyone. I think, are you feeling better, Johnny?
I'm getting there, mate. Struggling to breathe a little bit. I'm hoping to go to the Morecambe game, but I'm going to see how I feel.
Well, I wish you all the speediest of recoveries, young man. So, great result today, innit? It's kind of, I've been listening to the game while working, so, fantastic. I think that's the best back three in my opinion, that he was going to pick from what I've seen. I think the options that we've got, so I'm pleased with that. And great result. Sounded like a really kind of dogged performance in defence, and basically beat them on the counter attack, and got seen the goals on Bantams Latin America. So yeah, brilliant.
I've been watching it on. I managed to trick my PC to be in America, so I did get to watch the game. It struggled to connect eventually. I think Kasabian were playing for about 25 minutes a game. So, but just looking at the stats from FootMob, Bradford City had 12 shots or total shots. They had 2 shots on target and 1 big chance, and Gillingham had 7 total shots with 1 shot on target. So we did pretty well on that stat front. Miss Diane, what's your thoughts on the game?
I'm eating, sorry. I'm going out tonight, so I need to get something inside me. I thought I was okay. I only got like the last 15 minutes of the first half because we were putting my shopping away and everything. So yeah, I thought it was a good game. Sounded good, like you said.
So you said you've eaten.
Yeah.
And this is a tradition on this podcast. I know Stan likes his fish fingers with, I think, red sauce. What you munching on?
Munching on mini cheddars and Pringles. I need to try and get something inside me.
And also we are joined by Bradford City Fans Independent Group, who's currently, I think, in a bar, I think he said. He must be celebrating. Are you there, bud? Are you there, Steve?
Hi, Johnny. How are you, lads?
I'm getting there, mate.
Oh, I'm seriously glad that you're getting a bit better, mate. Genuinely. And I had the pleasure of being stood next to Callie today. We've enjoyed the game.
How's your hearing? Do you hear all right?
Oh, it's fine. She was magnificent. Bless her.
Was she well behaved?
Oh, she was. Ultimately brilliant.
Did she have Jeff? She normally does.
I'll say this, Johnny, and it's not just kind of like show, but I thought that was a complete performance today from Bradford. I genuinely did. I thought that we were superb throughout. We were defensively solid, and it was a perfect game plan at an away game. They were outstanding today, we're saying. Genuinely outstanding.
And who was your man of the match?
Ooh, that's a good one. To be honest with you, it's really hard to pick out because across the board as a team, they were superb. Harry Lewis pulled off saves when he had to do, but he really didn't have much to do. Halliday was immense as normal. Walker was outstanding. Gilead, outstanding. It was just a really good team performance. And both me and Stuart Mees have come away from there going, that's a magnificent performance. We never looked under any threat. And bear in mind that we've gone to a ground where the home side have won 3 of their last home games. And they never looked a threat. They really didn't. Gillingham were poor by standards. So from there going, yeah, fantastic performance from Bradford, well deserved, and just another magnificent game plan from Graham Alexander.
And so I was watching the game on iFollow, and iFollow screwed up. So for about 15, 20 minutes, I had to listen to it. So you're saying about Lewis's saves, were the top quality saves, or was he lucky to get them?
He pulled off one which was world class, genuinely world class. He had no right to get to it, and I thought it was a definite goal, and he pulled off this save. It was magnificent, but to be honest with you, Johnny, he never looked in trouble at all in any way whatsoever today. And City's defence was completely solid. I just think I know it sounds like a cliche, but I genuinely think it was a complete away performance today. It was phenomenal. The City just looked fantastic all afternoon. They never looked under any threat. The movement from Bradford was magnificent. They just look good all the way through. And I'm sorry, I know some people basically not sure about Graham Alexander at the moment, but I'm telling you now, this man, he's got Bradford playing in such a way that you just feel comfortable with it. We would never have basically looked this way, in my opinion, under Hughes. Genuinely. I know it's a strong statement, but I just think that we look solid as a squad right now.
And how did Johnny Williams play? Were he all right? I know you were linked with Bradford City, and obviously Gillingham came and stole him from us. Did he have a good game, or were he just crap?
To be honest with you, Johnny, I don't really think he featured. I don't really have any memories of him throughout the game. He played a part in a couple of times, but nothing that you would say as Bradford that he was a threat in any way. I actually think we've got better players in our squad right now. So no, I don't. Maybe Callie can comment, but I really didn't feel that he was at the races today.
Because looking at from FootMob, the stats, they've absolutely ridiculed the Gillingham team. Turner got the goalkeeper got a 5.2, Mackenzie got a 6.2, Mastrone 6.3, Diang, who's played for us, got 6.2, Madoon 6.6, Elmer 6.4, and then basically Williams got a 5.8.
Johnny, I genuinely don't think that they, if I'm a neutral today and I'm going to that game and I'm watching that game, their league position is false. They didn't look particularly strong. There was nothing really that as a club we should be worried about. They didn't really have any threat whatsoever. I thought that Bradford looked dominant throughout. If I'm Alexander, I'm looking at that and going, I'm not worried in any way whatsoever. They're in 8th, I think it was, at this moment in time.
Yeah, they're down to 10th at the minute. They've dropped.
Johnny, seriously, they were no. I don't think there were any threat whatsoever. I think their league position is false. They didn't look a particularly good team. They had no. I think they ran out of ideas pretty early on. I would say that City looked comfortable, really comfortable, without really having to kind of exert themselves. Defensively, we were superb today. I thought that our front line played really, really well in terms of defensively. They basically stopped and cut out anything that was of any real threat. But right now, Bradford were superb today. For me, it was a complete away performance right now.
So with the team playing as they are City now, obviously we've got one game in hand. Do you think the team would be... do you reckon the team would go automatic, playoffs? Where do you think the team now would finish under Graham Alexander?
To be honest with you, Johnny, I think that it's a difficult question, is that, because we've not had the best of seasons, let's be honest, right now. But if they carry on this consistency, I think that we have to realistically, look at it and go, playoffs is a must. And maybe that's me being uber cautious right now, but I'm not being funny, but they looked outstanding today. Genuinely outstanding. I thought that they were well prepared. They weren't really worried about the opposition that they were playing. Every player pretty much had a good game. And I suppose we'll see what happens in the next game. But, Bradford at this moment in time, Bradford City are looking good, to be honest with you. I have no qualms about any player on that team right now. They all look magnificent today. And they all seem to be really together. They seem to be understanding each other, understanding each other's movement. So, if I'm going to stick my neck out, Johnny, I'd probably say, I think playoffs are realistic right now. if we carry on this vein of form, then who knows? Because I don't think Bradford right now have to worry about anybody. I don't think they should fear anybody whatsoever in that league.
Stan, have you got something you want to say, bud?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything that's been said in terms of the squad. I maintain that we've got a squad good enough to go up. That we did have some of the summer signings were at the point yet to kind of convince one way or the other, but I do feel we've got a good enough squad to go up, and there's loads of games to go, so plenty of time with 3 points outside the playoffs. I mean, that's nothing, and at this stage in the season is pretty much half a season. So I do believe that I'm going to stick my neck out and say we're good enough to push for top 3. I'm not saying we'll get there, but to push for top 3.
So with you been in the pub, Steve, or in a bar, have you got the champagne out currently? It must be on Jaegers. You're on Jaegers. Is it?
We're just trying to get the beers in. It's very loud in here, pal, so I'm going to mute myself. But God bless you all, and I'm glad you're getting better, buddy, all right?
Miss Callie, have you got anything else you want to say on the fun bus?
Yeah, the fact that they play from the last game I went to at Notts County game, and today was a completely different turnaround for me to watch. If players actually lost the ball, they were turning around, running around, fighting to get the ball back. And 9 times out of 10, they actually did, which was amazing to see. I've not seen that for a long time watching them.
Because I thought they were going to be a sending off today with all them crunching tackles in about 10 minutes. Quite a lot of players got booked, didn't they?
Yeah, but the ref, a lot of them were just diving down as well, and the ref were just giving it. Every time they fell on the floor, the ref give it. So he made quite a few bad decisions as well.
Yeah, Johnny, you said I were polite earlier. Well, I'm afraid you can't come to any matches again now.
Oh, that's not fair, that, Lenny.
Hey, if we're winning 2-0 every week, you've got to stay away.
It's all right. I'll be watching Doncaster game anyway on iFollow. Miss Diane, have you got anything you want to say?
No, but just thanks to Callie for them videos.
Oh, she's been sending you Lewis pictures again.
I gave her a Lewis. Yes, I sent her a bit of a Lewis fix.
Yeah, she did. I needed my Lewis fix. At least I get that on Friday night. What was that?
None of them road ones.
Oh God, I'm so glad this podcast is not is explicit and not a PG or a U. Jesus, Lenny.
Yeah,
somebody put a muzzle on him. Is anybody else got anything they want to say? Stan, have you got what else, mate?
Not at this point in time, no. I mean, it's a great result, isn't it? And it's like, is it like 5 games on the bounce we've won now? So, all power to the players, all power to the manager, and really kind of got to take this momentum into next Friday's game against Doncaster. Set ourselves up for a good Christmas, I think. I mean, sort of what we want is positivity in it when they play well. So brilliant away result, and by the sounds of it, a brilliant away performance. So fantastic stuff, really.
Like going back what Callie said there, because obviously I've not been at the game and I watched it and I followed, but the team looked absolutely fantastic, closing down, pressing, crunching tackles, and like when obviously think if it were 2 or 3 players got booked in about 10 minutes, I thought, oh God, we're going to be having a sending off here, and obviously the players were diving and stuff. But like, Callie, what was it like at the ground? Because on iFollow it looked a bit deserted. This is where it's going to take her 3 days now to respond, isn't it? She's not going to hear me.
Sorry. It was very quiet in the ground. I mean, obviously I was stood with all youth that were all singing and carrying on, but it was just, they had quite a lot of fans, but you couldn't hear them. But yeah, it wasn't a very good atmosphere today. Obviously when the first goal went in, it changed, but it was very quiet and subdued. really.
Okay. So who would you say your man of the match was, Stan?
I don't know. I mean, back from the commentary, it sounded like Brad had another game and Jamie Walker had a brilliant game. So, I mean, those two, it's between those two for player of the season for me. So, from what I've listened to on the commentary, I would say Jamie Walker and Brad.
What about you, Callie?
Smallwood and Gilly for me today, because they run their asses off back and forth. They were all over the pitch most of the game, so them two for me.
So I know Steve's currently on probably his 8th Jaeger bomb at minute, so we'll go on to Diane.
Oh, I'm not sure. They all sounded like they were playing well, and I'm not going to say Harry because you probably think I would say him, but yeah, I always say him. And I got the 2-0 right as well.
I did as well. I just got the goal scorers wrong. I'm going to hopefully try to get Gills the Blood to join, so get his perspective from like a Gillingham fan. So have you got anything else you want to add, Callie? Just one for Diane. When that first goal went in, Lewis come running over to Walt fans, and he were his face and the excitement. Do you know what I mean? You could tell what it meant, even when the first goal went in. So yeah.
You mean it was back to his usual smiley self when we scored?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Oh, I like it when he's like that. Oh, definitely like it when he's like that. So.
So, I'm trying to try to keep it going for another 10 minutes or so, because I know after the game people are excited, they're buzzing, they just want to talk. So, from the bus then, Callie, live from the fun bus, who's like the man of the match on the bus?
Half of them are asleep. Guys, I'm on a podcast. They want to know who your man at match is. Halliday. Tomkinson and Halliday. And referee.
They give more cards out today than I've sent out.
Oh, this is what I love about this. You get.
You've woke them all up now, you know.
Oh God, I've woke them all up. Get back to bed, everybody. You've got another 3 hours until you get home.
Do you know what I like for me? I like for me what Coppers fighting coming back. It were hilarious.
Well, they started on each other.
Yeah, man at match. Lenny splitting the Coppers up.
I've just invited Chris T to speak. Chris, what's your thoughts on the game today, mate?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I thought watched when I played. I couldn't get down there today, but I thought the very professional performance. I don't think we ever really looked like losing. The difference with these players under Alexander compared to Hughes, it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? Really, they're playing for each other. They're playing for the manager. Yeah, it's good to see. Thought Smallwood was outstanding today. I think you can see now why he's captain. He ran that midfield today. Thought he was very good.
So, Chris, do you think under Graham Alexander, do you think he's getting the best out of the team now then? Do you think they're all starting to click and work for each other?
I think he is at the minute. I think the formation's working. Since half-time at Notts County, we've looked like a totally different team. I mean, even that second half, Notts County, after that first half, I was tempted to go home, to be fair. But the second half, they came out, showed a bit of fight, got a couple of goals. And I don't know if it was Stan who said third place is possible. I think it is. I think
it was me. Yeah, I think. Sorry, Chris. The squad is definitely good enough for me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at the bench today. We've got Patterson coming on. You know, when teams are tired and you've got that quality coming off the bench, Oliver coming on. Yeah, it's looking very good at the minute. Long may it last.
I wondered how we'd get on today, because I think Gillingham have been on a bit of a decent run, haven't they, since Clemens came in? And but yeah, I'm glad Johnny Williams went to Gillingham and we ended up getting Patterson, because I think we've got the better deal there.
Yeah, I agree with you, bud. Because he's like looking on iFollow and stuff, and Johnny Wilkinson had a dire game. Yeah. And I think we've like got the best part of the deal there. No, we've had Patterson, he's come in, but he's been a bit injury prone, hasn't he? But he's starting to come back. So at Gillingham's record, where are we? So Gillingham have got a -9 goal difference and 31 points, and we've -1, 29 points. So Gillingham have, I think, been on a good run, haven't they? But obviously now it's ended. Because I think they won 2 and draw and lost a couple, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. So, right. So, Stan, are you going to Doncaster?
I am, yes. Yes.
All right. Miss Callie, you going Doncaster? There you go. 3 days.
Sorry, my phone keeps going off. Yeah, I'm going Doncaster.
You're going Doncaster. Are you going Doncaster, Chris?
I am, yeah.
And Miss Diana, you're going Doncaster?
I am, yeah, definitely.
All right. I'll be the only person who's watching it on iFollow, so I should get a good buffering.
We'll give you a wave.
Right. What's that? Sorry, Chris?
We'll give you a wave.
He'll give me a wave. I want a massive banner, like "Get well soon, Johnny," or something. Massive banner.
I'll tell you what, they got smashed at one today, didn't they, Donny? So confidence might be a bit low there. It's a good time to play them, I think.
Good point. Where are we?
5-0.
5-0. Markham.
You did. Yeah. Markham.
It's going to make Boxing Day interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So looking at their shots, they had 12 shots on target. Doncaster, 12 shots, 3 on target. So yeah, they did dire.
Has anybody seen the Stockport result?
Yeah,
Yes.
8-0.
Yes.
8-0. Jesus.
Yes, Sutton. They beat Sutton 8-0.
We'll play some metric. Right, so before we start winding down, is anyone else that got anything else they want to say? Anything Bradford City related or anything, or just about the game or anything like that?
I've got something. It's not City related, but I don't know if anybody noticed that Tom Lockyer, the Luton captain, collapsed again today. He collapsed in the playoff final, didn't he, last season? And he had to have a defibrillator fitted to his heart. He's collapsed again at Bournemouth today, and they've had to abandon the game. Just
seen that on social media.
Hopefully he's okay and he makes a full recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard that earlier. That's not good, is it?
Let's hope he's all right. Sending him best wishes if he's listening, or if anybody from Luton's listening.
Right,
Goes
guys.
to show, doesn't it, though, guys? It's like you can love or hate your club, love or hate the game or whatever, and all things being considered, your health is the most important thing, isn't it, really? Because without that, you got nothing. So we do wish him all the best.
Absolutely.
Yep. Right, so I'm just going to brush... Paredo, typical, mate. Go on, then. I'll let you have final word.
Hello.
You all right, Charlie?
Not bad, how are you?
Getting there, bud.
Good, mate.
Just in time, about to shut down, so because you're here, I'll let you have
All right. You know where to start. Alexander's doing a good job in here. I mean, it seems he's getting the most out of the players, and the players want to play for him. And then Andy Cook as well. What a goal.
Did you go to the game, Charlie?
Oh, no, I wish, mate. I was considering it, and I was looking yesterday, and they said that tickets were unavailable, so sacked it off, but you could have paid at gate today, I think, so maybe I should have gone.
I sold you mine. I've been trying to sell mine for the last 2 days.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well.
So, did you see any of the game on iFollow, Charlie?
Not second half.
What did you reckon second half?
To be honest, I thought you could see that we were good at certain things, but I felt there were a spell, sort of like a 30-minute chunk where we were just letting them
come and sort of go for it, which you can see why, because we were the ones leading. But like the amount of free kicks we gave away in dangerous areas, you've got to think some teams will capitalise on that. But I'm not really concerned about it. I think that was just a one-off for that game. You know, it's I don't know. I think that's the major criticism I have, is that we just sort of let them control the game a little bit too much. I know that's not our style now. We more sort of play a bit more direct and don't really just make sure other teams don't score, as opposed to, you know, controlling everything like Hughes tried to do. But yeah, apart from that, good game, great result, 2 lovely goals. Everyone looked good. Yeah. When's your next game then, mate? What game can you get to next?
I'm hoping to get to Morecambe away. Obviously, I know people have probably not heard about, I've been diagnosed with diabetes, and also I've had a blood clot. I'm still trying to find out what type I am, if I'm type 1 or type 2, so I'm going to see if I can manage myself to come to the Morecambe game. I possibly might be bringing a friend with me, so I'm going to see how I get on.
Are you out of hospital now, though?
Yeah. I nearly, basically, my heart rate went through the roof and my sugars went through the roof. So I'm on insulin pens and everything now, and it's horrible, mate.
Well, you take care, and it's good. It's good that you seem, you know, your voice sounds a bit better than it did before as well. You know, mate. So
yeah, I'm just keeping myself busy. That's why I thought I'll do one of these today. I did message you earlier.
Yeah.
I don't think you're busy.
I was watching game. Yeah, but it seems like you've sorted it out anyway. And yeah, it's good to hear from you again, mate.
Yep. Right. Is anyone else got anything they want to say? Stan, Callie, Diane? Okay. I'll just move everybody there. Right, so I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. And again, I like to wish, especially everybody here, Tom Lockley, speedy recovery, who's collapsed on the pitch at the Luton Bournemouth game. So our next podcast should be probably next Thursday, because the game's next Friday. So come and join us Thursday at 7 p.m. live on here. If you like to hear, if you like what you hear.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain.
Right, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. With this podcast today, it's just a little bit different. To announce, yesterday my girlfriend's brother sadly passed away, so there will be a different theme, or a different, instead of the chicken song we normally play, we'll be playing You Never Walk Alone. So this podcast is designated, I can't even speak. This podcast is in memory of Paul, who sadly passed away Sunday. Right, now that's out of the way. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Bradford City.